Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Do You Love It Neilcraft. So today is another release day. I'm so excited about this one. I have two collections today, the Quirky Bird collections. Now I've always loved drawing birds. They were always things that I was drawn to. I will actually show you. This is way back when, where I play. So I've got some flamingos here. So I did this in 2012. So that I've always loved drawing quirky birds. So that's a blast from the past for me. But I've sort of updated them and created some fun quirky bird digis. So I have two sets. I have Crazy Chick and I have So Tweet. So this is the Crazy Chick collection and this is Prudence. So I've coloured these ones up with Copics. Okay, we have Sid, who I think is a bit sort of steampunky. This one's one of my favourite. This is Flo. I think she's sort of meant to be a quirky flamingo. And for those of you on Instagram, the sneak peek, that was what I got there. I thought it was the way I could make it look least like a bird possible. So this is Flo. I love her, love her. I did her as a sketch when I was like on a phone call. Okay, this is Fred. Okay, and then we have Poppy, and I also adore her. I love the way her eyes aren't even and her big rosy cheeks, and yeah, so these are all a bit quirky. So this is the Crazy Chick collection. So each of these digi images you can get singly for £2.99, or you can buy the whole collection of 5, which will include the sentiments, and it's £12.50 for the whole collection. So the sentiments, we've got I know I'm weird, but that's what makes me unique. You will turn out ordinary if you're not careful. I'm not a night owl or an early bird, I am an exhausted pigeon. Don't forget every now and then to just be silly. Sometimes I pretend to be normal, but then it gets boring, so I go back to being me. And then I'm not weird, I am limited edition. So I thought these are really fun. They're like fun quirky cards or really fun journal pages. And don't forget, because these are digi, you can print them as big or as small as you would like. So that's the Crazy Chick collection. And the next collection is called So Tweet. So we have Susie Sweet. I adore her. I adore them all. This is Sarah. She's sort of very thoughtful. So this is Sarah. Okay, Edna, lovely lashes. Edna, I adore Edna. I think out of all, you shouldn't have favourites, but I do adore Edna. So this is lovely lovely lashes Edna, and that's because she's all dolled up because we've got another one of Edna. This is Pippa with the long legs. I adore her too. There's Edna. So there's Edna as she is. So again, each of those are £2.99 each. If you want to get, you just want one, or if you want the full collection of So Tweet, you get the 5 images and the sentiments. So the sentiments in this one are 2 birds never sing the same song. Your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly. No matter what yesterday was like, birds always start the new day with a song. The littlest birds sing the prettiest songs. What good are wings without the courage to fly? A bird who dares to fall is a bird who learns to fly. So those are the sentiments that go with this, and as you get the 5 images and the sentiments for £12.50. So the link to all of this will be in the description box below, and now I'm going to pause, grab myself a few supplies, and we'll make something with one of these birds. Okay, so I'm back and I am going to colour up Prudence. So I have printed her out on watercolour card. Don't forget, if you're not used to using digis, the lovely Emma from my dream team has made up a video on how to resize and recolour your digis, so I'll link that below as well. Now, my preferred method of colouring is Copics, but today I am going to be colouring with my Distress Oxides for 2 reasons. I know a lot of you have ink pads in. You don't have to think. A lot of people kind of say, oh, I wish I could colour like you, and to be honest, I took classes. That is why I can colour, I'm going to use one of these. I spent a lot of time, I spent a good couple of years, I took some classes, and I spent a good couple of years where that is pretty much all I did in my crafting journey. I just coloured. So yeah, Kit and Clowder, highly recommend Kit and Clowder. I mean, I took her technique classes, but she does have free ones as well, which if you want to try it out and see if it's for you is a good idea, but I would highly recommend the technique classes. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm not actually even worried about the background too much, because another comment about my images, which I fully agree with, is that they're a bit awkward to cut out because of all the little prongy bits. And so if you're like me, I'm not a huge fan of the white space round about it, to be honest. I quite like it all nice and neat. So I'm just like literally randomly going over these little bits and pieces here. Yeah, I like it quite neat, and I don't particularly like white space showing over. Oops. I don't particularly like white space showing around the edge of my image, but by doing something like this, okay, we're looking a complete mess just now, but we are just going to be able to sort of, don't forget your distress inks mix a little bit, so I'm going to just, I made that a bit purple, so I'm just going to brush that off. I'm going to make sure I've got a bit of pink near her cheek there, and there we go, and then we can blend that into the head as well. Okay, and I'm just going to blend some yellow and stuff into some of these, so just so we've got a bit of variety. Okay, and we'll go for some, so I'm just going down like this. Now, what you can do is, if you want, you could get a pen, you know, if you're wanting to bring out the different details. So what have I got? I've got a little paint over pen here, so if you are wanting to add little details, we can just do that with a pen, or if you've got a very fine little brush like this, or even a makeup brush, cheap and cheerful. This is a cheap and cheerful makeup brush, so actually let's do it like that. Let's just stick with the one product so you don't feel like you need loads. So this is a very cheap and cheerful makeup brush, and I am just going over the stripes like so. And the fact it's not overly neat isn't really going to matter too much. Okay, let's give our shoes a slightly different colour, so I'll clean that off, grab a bit of orange, and we'll just maybe buff a bit of orange around there. So yeah, I appreciate that right now that is maybe looking like a bit of a hot mess, but what we can do now is when we cut her out, I don't have to worry overly about all the edges and things. So what I tend to do is I just very roughly cut round it like so, and then that gives me something to have a closer edge to. Okay, so what I'll do is I will actually just cut out the fussy bits so that you're not seeing the whole thing. So I'm going right to the edge of the actual bird. Okay, but now because I have coloured past the lines, now when I cut round all these fussy bits like so, I don't need to go right in. I mean, to be honest, it's the sort of thing I would do. It doesn't bother me to have to cut right in when it's white and I want it precise, because I quite enjoy fussy cutting, but I realise that's not everybody's thing. But you can just now very loosely cut round that, and because the colour has bled over the edge, when you put it on your project, it's not like you're going to have the colour from your project, then the colour from the bird, and then this sort of random white bit. You know, I mean, everybody's got their own styles, and some people like a white edge. I know a lot of people like it because for them it looks a bit like a sticker. But if that's not your style, and then you're thinking, oh well, I can't use Julia's images because she's got all these random bobbly bits coming off them, and they're a nightmare to cut, and I don't like the way they look, if they're not cut out properly, that this might be a way of getting around it. So I'm just going to finish cutting that off camera and then we will turn her into something. Okay, so that's Prudence all cut out now. I think she's looking quite cute. I've pulled an old tag out and I can upcycle that. I quite like the yellow background as it is. Let me see, I've pulled out a few of the sort of ombre papers, and I'm wondering whether we could maybe use some of those. Whether that could be quite nice. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, something like that might be quite good. So I am going to grab my gel medium, and hopefully one of these brushes will be okay. Right, so I'm just going to grab some gel medium and we will put some on the base, oops, and some on the paper, and we can just layer that up. Oops. Yep, so I had planned this release on the 20th, which is when you will see this video, and then I suddenly realised that I'm actually away. So I've had to be a bit more organised than I normally am, so I'm still doing things last minute. I'm supposed to be packing clothes and things, but you know, it's actually fine. It's before dinner time, so I'm not at the stage where everything's going crazily wrong, but you know. Right, still managing to make a mess of this, putting the gel medium over, but that's fine. No, I think I'll tuck it under. Okay, and then I'll put a little bit, a strip of this, whoops, down the bottom, like so. Okay. Now, stick that all down. Okay, and then we can, whoops, I'll flip it over and just cut off the excess bits like so. Oops. Okay. And then I picked up a whole load of, I love the tropical vibe and theme. It's so up my street, and you know, it's like, well, as you can see, I drew a flamingo there in 2011. This whole flamingo tropical vibe thing, I love it, and it's great because it's my sort of style. So there's absolutely masses of paper napkins in Tesco's right now with all sorts of tropical themes. So I've grabbed, the other ones actually feature toucans and flamingos and things like that, but seeing as I've got my own birds, I'm just going to use one of these ones. And what I will do is I will just pull that apart. Now, probably because I'm on camera, it's going to be really fiddly, because that's always what happens. Let me see, can I get it? Nope, so what I'm going to do is just pull that apart. Okay, so I've managed to pull it apart, and what is really cool about this is we kind of have the same pattern on the second ply, but it's quite faded. So I quite like that. I might build some of that into that. So I am going to tear bits of this. I think we're probably going to need to use the water trick again, because it does seem to sort of tear a lot better, or a lot, it's less jaggedy, I think, if it's had a bit of water. So let's just grab a few bits and pieces from that, and then we can stick that on as well. So again, I'll most likely use the gel medium for that. Oh, I'll like that again. fun. I mean, I probably should be making a less mixed media one and just have a nice quick one with the fact I've got so much to do, but you know, where's the fun in that? Okay, maybe just a little bit over there. So again, gel medium. Where's my little cloth? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to put some gel medium down like that, and then let's stick this to there. I love layering up. I love layering when it comes to journaling and mixed media and all that sort of stuff. It's great. Okay. And I'll put that down there. And then maybe just a little bit along the bottom, so it almost looks like we've the tropical things sort of framing some sort of strange picture. The sea and the sand, maybe? Who knows? Who knows? It can be whatever you want it to be. Okay. So I'll just tear that off. And believe me, I will be saving all these scraps. They will not be going to waste. Oops. It's alright that we've torn the edges a little bit there, that's fine. I'll even that off a bit more when it's properly dry. I'm trying to kind of get ahead, but without wrecking it too much. Okay. So we'll stick that down like so. Where's Prudence? There she is there. Okay, and as you can see now, we don't have that. We've got the bright colours of the background and we've got the bright colours of her, but because the colouring's gone over the edge, you're not now getting this sort of strange white bit. If that's, you know, something that you're not keen on. I know that it has been a comment that people have made that you know, they're difficult to cut round, so I was just kind of showing you another way of doing it. Now I'm wondering whether to put some of the paler. No, maybe not. Okay, I think we maybe need to sort of tone this down a little bit. So let's get some gesso on there, and it means then we can start playing with some, maybe with some stencils and some paints. So I'm just going to put a little bit of gesso on, and then I will leave that to dry and try and tidy up my crafty space somewhat, so I'm not working in quite such a pigsty. Yeah, I like the contrast, and then we'll get some dark around the edges in a bit. Oh, sorry for the screaming. That's my it's school holidays, so my daughter's downstairs playing with my husband, so yeah, there was obviously something very dramatic happening there. It's a bit of a scream. Okay, my finger's stuck to that. And then the other thing about me sort of whitening this out is the bird sort of, although the background was absolutely fabulous there and nice and bright and I love it, we kind of lost her a little bit. You couldn't see her quite so much. So by just sort of muting that out a little bit, suddenly she's going to kind of pop from, we're still going to have the effects of the background, but she's going to pop from it, which is all fantastic. Okay, so I am going to let that dry a little bit and I will be back. Okay, so I've grabbed this Carabelle stamp here. It's an Azaline design and I love all these sort of funky flowers. I think that kind of goes quite well with Prudence. It's all a bit, it's sort of recognisable as a bird but also a bit surreal. And I think these stamps are great. I love Azaline designs. They are absolutely fantastic. Definitely appeal to my sort of quirkiness. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that there like so. I'm not even using a block because I'm not particularly looking for a perfect impression. I'm just looking for a bit of interest. So we've got that. Actually might wipe this bit off. I don't know if I particularly want that bit, so I'll just wipe it off. Probably shouldn't have done it with my finger, but hey ho. and then we can stamp that there at the top of this. There we go. So we've got some sort of interest going on there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to get my ink pad and just drag it along the edges there to give it a little bit of a frame. I'll probably still do a doodly border as well because I just can't help myself, but we'll frame it like this for just now. Okay. I still feel like I want to get my stencils in and just stencil a little bit more colour into that, but that's how we are looking at this moment in time. I think that's looking quite cool. And yeah, we'll put her there. Now we've ended up with a funny sort of, maybe if we move her further over. That's quite cool. I feel like I need to white some of this out. I tend to do this a lot, don't I? Put some detail in and white it out. I'm aware that I want the detail and I'm glad I've got it, but again I've made it quite busy behind her, so she's not going to stand out as much, so I'm just going to go in and just, now I've ended up with that looking a little bit grey, but you know, we can live with that. We can always add some colours in. It's because I've not quite let the ink dry and then I've gone over it. That's okay. So I'm just whiting that out again. Okay. So we've still got a little bit of the detail showing through. Okay. She says, obliterating it. We've added some lovely shades and tones. Okay. You can still see a bit at the bottom there. Thing is, you can actually still see it will be another layer that will just show through. But if I pop her back down again, you know, we're beginning to see her a bit more again, which is good. Okay. Okay, so I've got a couple of indigo blue stencils that I have pulled out. So these are some of their little miniature ones. So I'm just going to pull out a few of the Distress Oxides that we've already been using, and we can go through the stencils. I'm sort of using two colours here a little bit, okay, and just to add a bit more interest for that. So we're bringing the blue. Oh, I like that. Let's go across there as well. Hadn't been my intention, but let's just go for it. Right, I need to try and remain aware not to put too much over here. Okay, so let's go with some dots now. Clean that off. Okay, let's put some dotties in. I love dots. Love, love, love. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay, I think I like. Right, how's Prudence looking on that at the minute? Not too bad. I think like if we put some shadowing on her, that'll probably be quite good. Okay, let me see. Do I want a little bit? I've still got this on my desk from the other day. So let's see if we can do a few drips running down. Add some water there. Managed to pick up a brush with absolutely no give in it whatsoever. One of my destroyed brushes. Right, and then we can tip that down. It's fab. Trying to make sure that I've got another drip going as well, and let's make sure that we've got a third, even if I have to sort of, okay, there we go. That's quite cool. Right. Okay, I think we are getting there. I'm going to yet again white out a bit more, and then between that and some shadowing we should be alright. It's very difficult not to get the the elements over. But hopefully you will see that it does make a little bit of a difference having something for her to stand out on. So I think what we'll do now is I will get her stuck down, and I think we're probably on the home straight with this a little bit. I'll just give it a little bit of a blast with the heat gun. Okay, so one of the things I want to do before I stick Prudence down is add some little white details. I just always find this makes such a difference. So just a little squiggly line and a few dots can just really help to bring the design out. It kind of adds little highlights. Now Alice Keegan, she actually teaches you to do this properly, you know, through your colouring and leaving white space and stuff like that, and I'm so grateful to have learnt that. But this is just quite a nice, quick, cheap way of just adding a few little highlights, and it does just really make the image pop. So I'm going to do that. Then what I'm going to do is grab some 3D foam and we'll get her stuck down, and we'll do a little bit of shadowing around that, and then we will see what we've got. I'm going to add one of the Quirky Bird sentiments, and then we will see how we're looking. Hopefully that and a little bit of doodling and we will be sorted, which would be excellent. So yeah, I'm hoping that you like them. I love them. It's always a bit nerve-wracking. It's kind of nerve-wracking putting your cards out there, but see, when it's your drawings, I don't know, it just feels like a whole different ballgame. So I'm hoping that you like them anyway. I know the girls on my team are loving them. There's been lots of squeals in the background, so that's good. At least I've pleased somebody. Okay, so we will stick her down. I'll get my state in my hands, honestly. Not a tidy crafter by any means. Is anyone a tidy crafter? Or am I in good company? Are you all like me? The whole place looks like, you know, some sort of natural disaster has happened. Okay, so I'm going to put her there. Right, and then I will just go and grab my Inktense pencils. Okay, so I have pulled out my Inktense pencil. This is sepia ink, and I am just going to go around and create a little bit of a shadow for Prudence. Oops, it's kind of mixing with the gesso. I'll get more ink on, and hopefully you will see that it does again make a difference. That sort of contrast, we've got the light background so that she's already standing out, but then if we add just that bit of shadowing, again it's that shading. If somebody was standing in front of something, they would create shadow behind them. So that's why these little tips and tricks really do work, but it's actually also really bringing out that texture, which is quite nice. So I'm just going to put a little bit of shading around her, and hopefully that'll really help to make her pop somewhat. And I kind of go darker on this side, so we've got a little bit more of a shadow going. Oops, I've just flipped that onto her face, but hopefully we'll be alright. The reason I like Inktense is that it's an ink, and especially with working with mixed media, once that is dry, it is not going to move if you start putting more layers on it. Now I'm also going to ground her, because if you don't do a bit of grounding, it looks like they're floating in midair. So I always like to ground my images. So I'm just putting that on like that. Right, now I'm going to choose one of these sentiments. Let me see, I think maybe this one. I know I'm weird, but that's what makes me unique. So I'm not bothering about cutting it out straight, because I think I'm going to chop it up a bit more. Now I've printed off these quite small. I think actually on this project I might have been better with a slightly bigger. Okay. And that would work for me. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of colour to that. Okay. Just so that we're tying in with the rest of it. I will get my Pro marker. And we'll just give that a bit of an edging. Like so. Right, so we'll get those stuck down. Oops, everything's rolling all over the place. It's all going everywhere. It's okay. Right, oh, it's actually working. Right. So, the other thing is, what I've been currently doing, what I did with my last range was everybody that entered, I have like a what do you call it, an album on my Facebook group, JMC Crazy Craft Hive. So if you want to go on that, and then what you can do is you can enter any makes that you make with either Crazy Chick or So Tweet, and then that means it gets, there's a chance then, if you want, that you can win the next collection. So I'm just about to finish off. I'm just going to use, this is my Jane Davenport Ultimate pen. Absolutely love this pen. I can hear somebody's at the base of the ladder moving, so I'm trying to work out if that's my husband or my daughter. One of them might be paying a visit fairly soon. Oh, it's my daughter. So I'm just almost finished this. Like so. Let me see. Let's do, I was trying to decide whether to do a double line or whether to do a sort of, like, you know, a blocky one with little squares, but we'll just go for a little squiggle, I think. Like so. You okay? I'm obviously getting somebody joining me crafting. Okay. So I think that is me done for this one. So there is a little mixed media tag using Prudence, and she is from the Crazy Chick range. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be back very soon with some more makes with this range. If you've enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.
Bye, even though I wasn't in here.